Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to something new, something I have played for many years, Kerbal Space Program. This game is absolutely insane. It's been out for pushing almost 8 years. I think it came out in like 2010, 2011, and I actually purchased it back in 2014. And I was like, I forget what I was looking at. Oh, I was looking at Space Engineers in the Steam shop, and I was like, yo, whatever happened with that game I used to play, Kerbal Space Program? I remember I got a different computer, and it wasn't on that computer. I completely forgot all about this game. So I logged back into Kerbal Space Program's site, and my purchase was still active in there. I was able to easily download it without having to pay for it again. Back when I purchased it, back in 2014, 2014 was when I purchased it. I paid $27 for this game, and I think now it's like $40 or something like that. So it actually went up in price, but they have still constantly been upgrading it, and there is a huge community behind this game that constantly adds different types of modifications. They just released a new expansion pack for it. We're going to be going in with just the basics, but I definitely want to add some mods to the game to kind of spice things up a little bit. I know they have a really cool like laboratory type mod where you can like build what's it called? Like space stations on different planets, which is really cool. This is like one of the largest open world games I have ever played in my entire life, because it's literally the size of the universe, or at least the size of our Milky Way. I don't know if they've added, I'm pretty sure there's a mod to add more universes, but for the time being, it's the size of our universe, and it is scaled. The physics are 100% realistic in this game. Absolutely amazing, and we're going to get right into it. We are playing the career mode. We're not in Sandbox. We are playing career, so we do have a limited amount of funds with no science, so we need to start working on that. But anyways, we got Jeannie Kerman here. Gene Kerman. I don't know, maybe. I'm Gene Kerman, Flight Director, and your guide for this quick introduction. This is the Space Center. From here, you can manage all aspects of the space program. Feel free to have a look around. Hold the right mouse button to move the camera or use the arrow keys. Right-click over the Space Center facilities to view more about them, and left-click when you're ready to head inside. If you need more information, check out the training section on the main menu. Thanks, got it. So it does say use the arrow keys. It doesn't really matter though. You can use the WASD keys, which is convenient. But this is our Space Center here. I don't know what it's doing. So we have a runway if we want to like fly like planes and things like that, or like flight shuttles. We have the space plane hangar, which is where we're going to craft our planes. The vehicle assembly building, which is where we're going to craft our rocket ships. Mission control, which I believe is where we accept additional missions. We got our astronaut complex, which is where we recruit new astronauts, I believe. Oh, nope, that's the administrative building. What is the astronaut? Oh, no, this is where we hire people. So what is this place? Oh, this is where we can like take on contracts and stuff like that. Research and development. This is where all the action is going to happen once we start getting ourselves some science. We got the tracking station. So this is where you can actually see the solar system. So like this is what they call Kerbal, I believe, in this game is Earth. You have your moon, which is the Mun. And this actually has two. Okay, got it, dude. It also has, we have two moons in Kerbal. So you have the Mun and Min Mus. And then if you zoom all the way out, look at that. You got the sun. You got what they call, would be Mercury is Moho. Venus is Eve. Mars is Duna. Where are we? Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. Saturn is Dres. You got Jewel and Ilu. But I think each of these planets, like if, for example, if we zoom into Duna, I think Duna has a moon. And there's a couple of planets, like for example, what is it? This one, I think, which has multiple moons. Yeah, look at this. It has multiple moons, and each planet you can get stuff from, and it increases your experience. So we'll zoom in. But like, look at this. Look at that. This is just a giant ice block. There's nothing really too special about it. But anyways, let's get into this. What do we need to do? Let's see. First off, where is mission control? Here we go. So this is where we're going to gain our science and our experiments from. So they want us to start off pretty much basic. Gather scientific data from Kerbal. So, and then you can see it kind of tells us, objectives, recover or transmit any science experimental data from Kerbal to achieve this goal. Sometimes there will be certain heights, different things that you need to meet. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I wanted to turn the volume down a little bit. It was super loud in my ears, and I pressed the wrong button, so yeah, things happen like that. So anyways, though, in the mission control, like you can see, escape from the atmosphere. Here we go. So it shows you have to breach the atmosphere by flying a vessel to an altitude of 70,000 meters to achieve this goal. This one, you need to orbit Kerbal. There's no particular meters, but I think in order to get to orbit, I think you have to be above like 70,000 meters, I think it is, for Kerbal. Each planet has like special things, which when you gather data, you figure these things out. So we're going to start off with pretty much the basics here, which is give us a quick crew report before launching. It's fine if any of the lights on the control panel are flashing. Just give it a quick swift kick. So we're going to accept that one. And what we could do, we could even launch our first vessel. And I think breach the atmosphere by flying a vessel to an altitude of 70,000 meters to achieve this goal. Okay, so it won't let us, we can only do 2 at a time, which is fine. Now, there is real-world time. So what happens, like, for example, these all have expirations, so 2 days, 5 hours. This one expires in 1 year and 1 day. So the thing is, you can fast forward in this game. So like, a lot of times if you're going through orbit, you'll fast forward to get through a certain point to, speed up the whole process. Otherwise, you literally will wait a year for your ship to go around the entire planet, because that's, it's real physics. Everything is to the T, as real as it could possibly be. So you fast forward things. That's why, obviously, it's not going to take us a year to complete this mission, but in reality, if we want, the full, like minute by minute, second by second experience, which we're not going to do, we're going to fast forward through a lot of this stuff. But if you do, it's going to take you a year to do some stuff. So let's get our first ship together. So we got ourselves a command pod, which is, of course, of the basics. We're going to make this pretty sweet, pretty simple, because all we got to do is get out of the atmosphere. So we're going to make sure we have a parachute, because we want our Kerbals to survive, of course. We could do a mystery goo contaminant center. Yeah, why not? That might give us some extra scientific data on the re-entry point. Let's see here. What do we got? We don't have a whole lot unlocked yet, which is fine. And a very basic of an engine is what we have. So there's that. I don't have anything to decouple, though, which is a little bit concerning. I really don't. Oh my gosh. Alright, well that's fine, though. So now if you see, everything's kind of put together. We got our basic of a basic ship here all ready to go. The problem lies in the fact that if we were to launch, you see this, they're both on the same thing. So if we go to launch, it's going to deploy the parachute and the engine at the same time. We need to add one and drag this down. Now, when we launch, it's going to ignite the engine first, and then at the end, when the engine goes away, we can issue our parachute. So, we're all done here. We're ready to go. This is going to be test launch. You don't have to name it, but we're going to. So this is going to be a test launch. Most likely it will die, but we'll see. Let's launch. Hopefully it doesn't tip over because of that mystery goo contaminant thing. I really hope it doesn't, but we'll see. So as you can see, we are... Hold on, I'm trying to remember. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, we are on the launch pad here, which is a very basic launch pad. You can upgrade it, though. Like, everything is upgradable once you start making a certain amount of money. So first thing we're going to do is do a crew report here. So what I did was I just right-clicked on it, And there should be, here we go, crew report. And so you see we can launch the crew report. It's going to give us 1.5 science. And can we transmit this data? No usable. Oh, we don't have a, what's it called? An antenna to transmit. So we're going to keep the experiment. That's fine. And then we're going to do this one. We're going to observe the mystery goo. All right, that gave us 1.3 if we transmit, or 3 if we recover it. So we're going to keep this experiment as well. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to end this launch. So we're going to click here, recover vessel. Now, as you can see, we gained 4.5 science from all of that. That is perfect. We recovered everything. No funds were lost, so it didn't cost us anything to do this. And the crew was okay. So now if we go back over to mission control, we go to active, you can see that one is no longer there. It has been completed. So we got the 1 science for it. So now we actually have to launch. So in order to get the rest of what we need. So we're going to go ahead and launch this bad boy now. And pretty much, I don't recall. I don't know if I can view it either from here. Can I? Did they ever add a thing? Oh, you can right here, I think. No, that's not it. One of these tells you what missions you have. Here it is. Achieve goal. The notes, launch your first vessel off of the launch pad or the runway to achieve this goal. So it's a very simple one, you know. And then this, of course, you always kind of want to keep this one open because this tells you like how much fuel you have, monopropellant, and how much electrical charge. So without further ado, how does this work? I think shift. Yeah, shift is a throttle, which doesn't really matter here because we're using a solid state fuel. So it's just going to go at max blast as soon as we press launch. So without further ado, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Oh my gosh. Can I keep this bad boy straight? As you can see right down here, that's what you want to kind of aim for to keep it straight and everything. Alright, so we're done with that. We're going to zoom in. Once we get to a decent altitude, we're going to observe the mystery goo. Alright, we got 7 science for that. We're going to keep it. And we're going to do a crew report real fast. And we're going to keep that. And that is it for that. So now, we're pretty much just, we're free floating here. You know, there's nothing going on. Our fuel, as you can see up here, is all gone. We're just kind of circling around. We're going to start to re-enter the atmosphere in just a moment here. Now that I'm looking at it, though, I think it's a little bit higher. Toggle map, is that it? Yeah, so this could kind of show us like what our general path is that we're taking here. So you can see we're actually already dropping back down towards the surface at a pretty accelerating rate. So the thing is, when we go to launch the parachute, we got to do it at a certain time, and I don't remember when that is. I think it's going to start to burn up, and then once we get past the burning phase, then we can launch the parachute. Maybe we never actually exited the atmosphere. I'm going to pull the parachute. Oh yeah, that's right. It opens, but it doesn't actually like expand until we get closer to the ground. There it goes. Now it expanded. And we are going extremely fast. This needs to get down to like 7. Yeah, there we go. Once it's below 7, I think you won't take an impact. Each thing though does have, like, you can look here. It might not show it here actually. I thought there was a way to open up more stuff, but it shows you like you can see like in the building place, it'll tell you like what your impact is, and you got to be careful. So like this is the fast forward thing that I was telling you about. Where is it? Here it is, fast forward. But you got to be careful because when you fast forward, it does increase your speed, and if you fast forward too much, you can actually impact the ground and blow up. So that's it. We've landed. We're good. Everybody is happy. We could, since we are nicely landed here, let me fix this. Can we leave this vessel? How do we go? Is it EVA? There we go, yeah. So we climbed out. This is our little buddy here. His name is Jabaya Kerman. He's a Kerbal. So we're going to just drop him down. And what I'm going to have them do is just do an EVA report. And that we can also take back with us. That way we get a little extra recovery experiment. So we're going to climb up onto this, and we're going to have them board back into the ship, and then we can go ahead and recover the vessel. And just like that, that little bit that we just did gave us 17 more science. We gained $132,000 from this whole thing. And oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. We recovered 1,896 funds from the recovered parts, from everything that was recovered, which was just about everything. The only thing we lost was the fuel. We won't get that back, but we do, we kept the engine, so we do get the money back for that. Now, as you can see, we got 34.4 science. We can start unlocking some new stuff. So we can unlock the basic rocketry. This will give us a couple of new engine parts to use. We'll unlock the engineering because we do need this, which is the decoupler, which will help, as well as a few of these things. This will help give us more science. The Commutron will allow us to actually be able to send the science back to the planet without us having to actually land the vessel, at a reduced rate, of course. And we got some general rocketry here, which can give us a little bit more stronger engines. Or we can go for something like this, which gives us a little more aerodynamicness. Or you can do survivability, which is like the heat shields, radiator panels, things like that. Judging by what I'm looking at, I'm kind of leaning between this, because we don't have enough of both. We have 24. This one costs 15. And the general rocketry costs 20. So I'm kind of torn between the two right now. Let's do this, which is, oh yeah, we need these. I mean, we need this too, but I think I'm going to go with this one first. So let's research this, because we definitely need these rockets here. This is the Terrier, which is like a smaller version of this one, the Skipper, and the Poodle is like a smaller version of the Terrier. But both are very important when trying to get through the actual atmosphere. So we're good now, though. We unlocked a few little things here. So let's go ahead and test these bad boys out. What do we got here? Oh, actually, before we do that, let's take a look at what other missions we have. Oh my god, they just loaded us with frickin' missions to do. This is too much. Construct a focused observational survey of Kerbin. Conduct a focused observational survey. Okay, so like these are the same things pretty much. A little bit different, what's it called? Parameters of like height and everything. But otherwise they're from different places. Like this one's from Integral 2s, and then this one's from R&D development. So we want to do, like you could do stuff like this, like test the simple swivel, which is very simple. Test the MK16 parachute in flight over Kerbin. Escape the atmosphere. I don't know if what I have is powerful enough to escape the atmosphere yet. But let me see. It might be. I think we actually might be able to escape the atmosphere. Let's take this along with, I don't want to orbit Kerbin just yet. I'm not sure. Let's take a crew report in flight above 16,800 meters near sector. Oh my god, I don't know where the heck the sectors are. Near Jagan's Pride. Oh, that's right. They updated it where there's like actual places that you can go to now. They didn't have that before. I mean, they had a couple, but not a whole lot. This guy's really annoying me. He's like over there like, yeah, you're right. Yep, you're right. Yeah, Alright, you know what? Let's stick with what we got, which is escape the atmosphere. And let's go ahead. Let's see. I should have looked at what they consider the atmosphere, but that's fine. So we don't have any fuel tanks. Here we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and get rid of this real quick. We're not going to completely get rid of it, but we are going... Okay, why won't it let me pick it back up now? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Let's get rid of that. And first things first, because when we re-enter, we don't want anything to be attached except for the pod itself. So this, what I just put on it, is called a decoupler. That will allow us to detach any rockets and everything from the main pod, and it will lower our weight upon re-entry. And then now we're going to add a large fuel tank with a simple engine. It's been a while. I don't really remember which ones are good for what. I don't remember which part kind of tells you which one was best for escaping the atmosphere and which one's actually best for when you're actually out of the atmosphere. So let's do this one. This one gives us a little more thrust. So we're going to go with that bad boy. And then we'll put another decoupler. Where's... Oh my god. It's been so long since I played. It's hard for me to remember where stuff is. Alright, so we'll do another decoupler. And then what we're going to do, we're going to put one of these bad boys on here. This will get us right out of the atmosphere. Now, the issue we have. Because there's definitely a huge issue. I mean, if you look at this, it looks like it's literally ready to blow up without even leaving the launch pad yet. So let's add some basic fins. And is it this button? Yes, it is. Okay, so this will add 3 fins kind of down here. It doesn't really matter where we put them as long as they're there. Let's see, what else do we got here? We don't need an antenna because we're going to land it afterwards, but I do want to put one of these thermometers. This will allow us to gather a little more data. And we're just going to kind of... Why do I feel like it's like facing the wrong direction? Is it R that rotates it? No, that's for like the snapping. That gives us more. Q, oh, okay, Q is what rotates. So Q and R allows you to like rotate it different ways so that it lays flatter. Symmetry, mirror, symmetry, radio, mirror. I don't remember. There's one more that you press to turn it a different direction. Oh, okay. It's just the arrow keys. I'm dumb. Alright, there we go. And then we have our parachute, so let's make sure everything is lined up correctly. Let's zoom out. So we got our main engine that boosts first, then we're going to decouple it, start the next engine, decouple that one upon return, and launch the parachute. So, this is, we're going to call this one the death rocket. Mr. Kerbal, you might not return from this one, so I wish you the best of luck. Here we go, guys. Hopefully it doesn't just tip right over. I didn't even think about that. It literally might just tip right over on the launch pad. And it's not, so that's good. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Now this one, again, we do have a solid state booster, so it's just going to launch at full capacity right off the bat. We can actually, I think, lower that, can't we? We can. We can make it... Oh, no, you can't. Maybe you have to do it before you actually go into the launch. That's okay, though. But when the second one launches, we will need to raise the throttle for it because that one is going to be a controlled rocket. So, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Got to keep it centered as best as possible and not let it start to turn until you get past, a little past about 40 meters. Over here we can see the state at how much fuel is left. We want to make sure to decouple it as soon as the fuel runs out, otherwise it's going to drag us down faster. So once this solid state, we can start to turn this a little bit here. It's very difficult to turn because of the lack of control. So we might have messed this up pretty badly. There we go. And let's go ahead and get out of the map here. Alright, so as you can see, whoa, 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 we're losing control here. We're losing control. We don't want to do all that just yet. Oh, what happened? Did I run out of fuel already? Oh my god, I'm already out of fuel. I believe, out of the atmosphere though. I think this is the atmosphere, this is not. I think. Let's open this up. Breach the atmosphere by flying a vessel to an altitude of 70,000 meters to achieve this goal. Okay, well I definitely flew a vessel above 70,000 meters, so we got that. Now we are in space, as you can see we are kind of just free floating here. So what we're going to do is we are going to do a crew report, and we'll keep that. We're going to observe the mystery goo, and we'll keep that. And then the thermometer, log the temperature, and keep that. So that's everything. All right. We can technically go ahead and decouple. Let me just make sure. Where is my staging? Oh, okay. So yeah, we can decouple the engine. We don't need that anymore. And now we're kind of just free floating. We don't want to get the Kerbal sick though, so we're gonna stop that. I really don't remember. I know that this is like to go faster. You got proapsis, I think it is. Proapsis, latitude, longitude. I mean, it's a lot, dude. It'll slowly come back to me, though. We are slowly increasing our speed here. We are going to kind of just fast forward this just a little bit. And we'll go back out to our map here so that we can kind of see where we're at. So right now we're at the largest point, which is the apparatus. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And we're just going to slowly start to kind of work our way back down into the atmosphere here. It will automatically slow us down once we reach, I think it's like 40,000 or 70,000 maybe it is. I'm not sure. Yeah, see, it just slowed us down because we just hit, yeah, 70,000. So once you hit, I think it's either 65 or 70,000, we should start burning up back into the atmosphere any second here. You'll start to see it catch on fire. Come on now. Come on. You can do it, buddy. There it goes. It's catching on fire now. Alright, guys. And it shows achieved goal. We escaped the atmosphere. We are now re-entering the atmosphere. Ooh, this is new. This was never here before. I probably should have put a heat shield on it. I think we'll be okay, though. I mean, these things are meant to withstand some pretty hard heat. Alright, so we are officially back into the atmosphere now. Once we get around here, I think it is, we'll deploy. I really wish I remembered these things because I'm very concerned. I mean, we are going super fast. We are slowing down a little bit, though. So I think once we reach like maybe 5,000 meters. I'm concerned. I think I'm going to deploy it now. You got to be careful because what happens if you deploy it too early, it'll literally just break right off and your guy will just plummet to the ground. There it goes though. It hit, slowing down there, nice and easy. And now we will literally just float down to the ocean. So I'm going to fast forward it just a little bit here so we can hurry our way down. How far are we from the... Oh, we are falling, right? I wonder, is it really fast forwarding? It's very slow. I think they fixed it because it used to be like you could fast forward and you'll like hit the water so hard you'll still explode. Okay, yeah, it was definitely fast forwarding. So we're almost back to the water though. Can we recover yet? No. All right, and we have officially crashed down into the ocean, a big bottomless pit of the ocean that is. And let's recover the vessel. So very successful flight. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys love this series. When we get back, though, we are going to go all out. We are going to be going to the deepest depths of space. We got to observe, or we got to achieve an orbit around Kerbin. Once we get an orbit around Kerbin, and when I'm comfortable with that again, I'm a little more comfortable with how the mechanics of this game works, because again, it's been close to probably about 3 years since I played this game, at least 3 years. Once we're a little more comfortable with it, though, then we're going to head out and go to Minmus, or I'm sorry, Mun. We're going to head to the Mun, which is moon, and there where they call it Mun. But we do have a nice amount of funds now. We're at $270,000, or Kerbs. I don't know what they call it in this game. I'm not sure. But we got 270,000 that we can blow through on our next. What is all this? I've never seen all this before. Maybe this is everything that we did. I don't know. Um, okay. Anyways, though, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Kerbal Space Program. I can't wait to do some more with you guys, though, because we are going to be going all out with our vessels, and we are going to build the largest space station in the entire universe, or at least the Kerbal universe, that is. So until next time, I will see yas.